Good morning. I'm so thrilled to be sharing this room with all of you. I'm very excited about what everybody's sharing, and I'm excited to tell you about what I do at Schwab. I manage our RIA Talent Advantage program in advisor services, and many of you may think of Schwab advisors, Charles Schwab, and think of Own Your Tomorrow, which is up on the screen, or Talk to Chuck, but you may not know what advisor services does. We serve entrepreneurs. We essentially take care of over 7,000 registered investment advisors who have over $1 trillion in client assets with us. They're entrepreneurs who have started their businesses because they believe that they want to help their clients reach financial success. In addition to providing safe custody of assets, we also help these advisors as they sustain and grow their businesses, while also helping to advocate in the industry alongside them. And what I want to talk to you today is about one of the biggest opportunities and one of the biggest challenges that they face in the industry today and in the years to come. Now, it all starts with a story, and it starts with a story about a few women having a couple bottles of wine together at a conference. It was one of our senior executives in advisor services, and she was meeting with about 10 or 15 women in the industry who are very senior financial advisors, kind of movers and shakers in the organization. They got together and they were talking about how to make change in this old, stodgy, stagnant industry of financial services. And the topic that they were most passionate about changing was talent. There's a severe talent gap in financial services, much like there is in law firms and technology. And what we found in looking at research is that less than a quarter of women are certified financial planners. Less than 30% of financial advisors are women. And if we use those anemic statistics as a backdrop, we think about where wealth is coming from. Women own over $11 trillion in assets. 40% of women say that they're the breadwinner in their household. And over 50% of women say that they see their financial situation is increasing in assets over time. That means that more women are going to be needing financial advice in the future. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that women only want to work with women. Women like working with women, just like men like working with women, and vice versa. But women and men alike both value variety in perspectives and opinions and backgrounds. Now, what that means for advisors is they need to think about the investors that they're serving, and they need to think about how they help support those women and men, no matter what their background and perspective, and how they help represent them in the community. Now, that wine-drinking innovative bunch that I mentioned earlier, they're still around. They became our grassroots Women's Advisory Council, and they've actually helped support us on a number of initiatives. And together we created what we call the RIA Talent Advantage program. The objective of the program is really to bring more industry diversity, and it's across 3 spectrums: age, culture, and gender. We're starting with gender first, because obviously we're very passionate about it, but there's a lot of other reasons, and I'm going to share those with you now. The first is the need in the marketplace. I've already kind of rattled off a few statistics, but one of the things we're seeing is the face of the investor is changing. Assets are coming from different populations, and in order to remain competitive, our advisors need to think about how they're going to serve those different people. The second piece is the passion and momentum. The Women's Advisory Council that I mentioned is just one example of women who are willing to raise their hand and step out and take time out of their busy days because they feel passionate and they want to do something to make change. And then the third reason is because there's a serious diversity talent gap in the marketplace. We think about the statistics and see that the financial services industry is completely men. For the most part, men. Let's just be honest. And we also think when people are thinking about a career set in financial services, they're not necessarily thinking about being an RIA. So we want to change that. Last year, we launched the RIA Talent Advantage program. We tested a couple tactics and ideas throughout the years, but we landed on what really resonated. We created a women's curriculum. The program was really meant to help women who are in RIA firms who want to progress into leadership and client-facing positions. We picked one topic, executive presence, which is something that a lot of people are very passionate about. We had a webcast, events throughout the year, and it culminated at an event at one of our annual conferences. And the results were astounding. The webcast broke records on registrants and number of attendees. The event that we had at our annual conference sold out in a matter of days. So there's clearly demand for the type of content. In addition to the women's curriculum, we fielded several research studies and engaged an industry expert to help us build our business case to share with advisors on why it's important that they focus on building an inclusive culture and creating a diverse workforce. In 2015, we'll continue with our women's curriculum, but we'll also create recruiting tools to help our advisors as they recruit that diverse workforce. And then finally, we want to harness the passion of the women and men who are thrilled and wanting to get involved in their local communities. So we're creating tools to help them go out into those university programs or even workforce reentrant programs to talk about the RIA model. This is probably a multi-decade-old problem that we know we can't change overnight, but we are thrilled to be able to harness the power of the community that's involved and get them to move forward and slowly move the dial and help make the RIA industry the industry of choice for both men and women alike. Thank you.